Good evening. I'm going to call the meeting to order of the Hubbardston Select Board. Special meeting January 20th, 2025 at 6:32. Excuse me. Reminder to everyone, the meeting is being digitally recorded, so please be respectful of each other. Announcements.
Yep.
Okay.
So we actually have two things now. Hold on. We have the meat raffle, which was the one that was postponed from earlier this month. It's actually this Friday at the Rod and Gun at 7 p.m. So again, that's 123 is the Lions Meat Raffle at the Rod and Gun at 7 p.m.
What date?
123 this Friday
Oh, this Friday. I didn't hear that, sorry.
at 7 p.m. at the Rod and Gun. And then the seniors, I think it's I'm not sure if it's the seniors themselves or the Friends Up, because it's a fundraiser, so I think it's a Friends Up. But regardless, at the senior center, there is a pie for breakfast on 2/14. Yes, why not? There might be other pies. I'm gonna get more information. Not necessarily just all sweet pies. There might be like quiches and stuff. But anyway, pie for breakfast on the 14th, February 14th, which is a Saturday, from 9 to 11 a.m.
It's Valentine's Day.
It's 9 to 11 a.m.
That's
So,
what I'm saying.
I understand. It is Valentine's Day. Pie for breakfast. There's tickets being sold. They're $10 each. If there's children under 5, they are free. But for everybody else, it's $10 a ticket. And again, it's a fundraiser thing. It's really fun. This is their second or third year they've done it. I want to say second. But yeah, it's really fun. They do a good job. But they have a bunch of different pies. A lot of them are sweet. And I'm going to get some more information to come back with another meeting for a little bit more detail. I reached out to them for like a flyer with a little bit extra bonus stuff in there. So that's what we got going on for right now.
Okay, thank you.
Library.
Anyone else have any other announcements?
Saturday story time this Saturday.
Okay.
However, it is going to be a record low on Saturday morning. So the library is going to have take and make craft kits available and books to go along with them. So patrons can come in, grab, if that way they don't want to join us on Saturday, they can still bring story time home with them. And Saturday story time, as always, is at bright and early at 10 a.m.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have any other announcements to make? Okay. Open session, Chief Kuchar.
So I am here because of the snow removal bylaw. I'll read that bylaw to you guys just so you have it fresh in your mind. No person other than an employee in the service of the town or an employee in service of an independent contractor acting for the town shall place or cause to be placed any obstruction which includes but not limited to the depositing of snow, ice, or the pumping of water on any traveled public way or sidewalk so as to impede the flow of traffic or hinder the snow plowing operation on such public way, nor allow the same to remain without first obtaining the consent in writing from the Department of Public Works. Such obstruction shall also include but is not limited to shrubbery, fences, walls, or any personal property such as portable or fixed sporting equipment. In the event that a town vehicle is damaged as a result of the presence of a prohibited private obstruction in the public way or sidewalk, the town will pursue remedies available to law to recover the costs associated with repairing the town's vehicles. Such obstruction shall not include rubbish, recycled materials put up for collection. The police department will be the sole enforcing authority of the bylaw. However, whoever violates this section shall be punishable by a fine. First offense is a warning, second offense is $30, third and subsequent is $100. So the way this bylaw is written, we've had like several issues. The last storm, we had over 10 complaints of people plowing snow across the road. It's really bogging us down with Travis having to document it and call us for every one of these and to send an officer to each one of these places. Realizing that we are the sole enforcing authority of this. My suggestion would be that I could sign something for a written warning to be sent out to the resident that they plowed or their contractor plowed across the road. You know, it does create a hazard, so I'm on Travis's side here when he's saying this is an issue. It is. I know people think that they plow their stuff across the road, DPW comes through and it's not a big deal, but when the snow sits there, it freezes, so you can cause damage to somebody else's car or cause an accident. It does take some of his material off the road. I know it's not a big stretch of an area that's taking stuff off the road, but it is. So we've noticed that this is an issue because he's calling way more than he ever has, which means it either means it's either happening way more or they're just observing it more.
This has been for like the one storm? Or how about
So
past
the
weekend?
last few storms,
Okay.
there's been more and more instances of this happening. So my proposal would be that we either have the town clerk send that warning out to the resident, and then if they get another offense where they're gonna be charged for this bylaw violation, which I don't feel like they're going to stop, because some of them are multiple repeat offenders, but it's not being documented properly. So I feel that if we have it through the town clerk or something, it can be documented on our end instead of trying to rely on dispatch. I mean, dispatch is also, you know, they're fielding calls for serious incidents, and
Does it
This
still
is followed
require,
by the
does it
wayside.
still require then that you would have to send an officer out for each one?
so they could still be mailed a violation. We could do some due diligence on our part to make sure that it's not, if it's a contractor, then it goes to the contractor. And it's on them to not do it again, and that they get fined. You know, I would think that if a resident got the notice in the mail on the first warning, they're gonna tell their plow driver, listen, I don't wanna get fined because you're plowing across the road, let's, you know, come up with a solution. So, it's just the way we're doing it, the way it's not being documented properly. So, and I can't rely on dispatch to do it, and I can't necessarily always have an officer available, especially when we have one guy on.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah, to go
It's
to
ridiculous.
every single one, and then a car accident comes in the middle of this, and it's gonna get stacked up, and we're not gonna either get to it in a timely manner or at all.
Yeah.
So that's my worry. I would propose that this gets changed at possibly the next town meeting, to include us not being the sole enforcing authority, maybe either town clerk or DPW or something like that, where they can send, you know, just like another fine, any other fine someone might get from the town. That way it's documented properly. I talked to Travis about this today. I mean, he's using up a lot of airtime on the radio as well, on the police frequency to call these in. So I suggested that let's just make a list, send out the warnings, essentially, then, you know, the next business day, they'll get them in the mail, instead of having to tie up emergency personnel.
So this would be a temporary fix until a
Temporary.
town meeting where on the warrant we could place it
Yeah, then we can
town
actually change the bylaw.
to change the bylaw, yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah, it's a temporary fix. Let's just say if we have the town clerk send it out, I could still sign the letter, so it is coming from my office.
Should there be a preemptive warning of some sort
Yes.
via email and
So,
Facebook and things like that?
Yes, so I
to-
already have it prepped and ready to go. That's
Okay.
why I was waiting for him to do his thing. So I have a email blast, a social media post, and the website post, kind of just reminding everyone. Travis got me today his winter awareness flyer that goes over like, you can't do this. Please make sure your trash barrels where you usually keep them is shoveled out so that they're not in the middle of the road.
Should we go one more step and do a reverse phone call, or is that too much? I
I don't want to see people get fined.
don't
so-
either, but I
You
will
know.
100% tell you from driving around doing my plowing, it's more than it used to be.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's,
And I
couple
don't- I-
contractors are coming in and doing it.
Yeah,
or
I'm not,
what,
I'm
don't
not the
know.
one to complain about it, but I will tell you, we have hit in a plow truck sometimes, and it will throw us off, like, and we're driving a plow truck with a plow, and sometimes the berms you hit are large and frozen solid, and I do agree it is a problem.
Yeah, and I
It's
know the-
it's obviously a problem. So how many violators did you say you had this storm?
there was like around a dozen.
Do we know who they are? Do we have their names and
We
addresses?
have their information. Travis has pictures of, his guys are stopping, getting a picture of the address and what's being done, so we do have that documentation. It's just not being documented properly where we can so to say, back it up in court.
All right, so let's send them a warning.
With a
That's-
with photo, with a picture.
Well, the.
We could include that, that's, you know, that'd be, I would recommend that we do that, just so they're aware of it. And I wanna kinda cut this off.
Yeah.
It's, you know, what do we had, like 2 storms or something, and it just seems to be.
Send them one warning,
All of a
let's
sudden,
get those out, and then next time they get fined.
Now, of these, I'm just curious, of these 10 or a dozen, are these, are many of them
Anyway.
repeaters too?
They're all.
Well, are they all-
those
are they all
separate
repeated?
ones, but there are several repeat
Okay.
ones in there. And it's just like I said, it's not being, the documentation isn't there on the back
No,
end.
because
through-
there's more than a dozen.
Right.
There's way more than a dozen.
So what's been happening is Travis will call over the radio and say this address. And if the officer's not busy, they've been going to it. Sometimes they get there though, and it's just like no evidence in it.
Yeah,
So
because it's
like-
already been driven over or
Okay.
plowed or whatever.
And it's like, I don't want to put the officers in a situation either where they're getting into a, you know, a situation where somebody's going to argue with them back and forth over something that's just silly, and just people do that, you know?
No.
And Travis.
And we don't have the
Travis-
manpower, you don't have
Right,
the manpower.
Travis was saying, oh, I could have my guys stop, but I was like, I absolutely don't.
That will create,
Want your
that'll
guys
create
to
another
do
problem.
More problems.
I
Yeah,
just feel the least intrusive way is to send the letter.
yeah.
And send the warning that way, and then, like I said, we can do further due diligence as far as figuring out who's actually doing it, if a fine's gonna come down.
Yeah. Hopefully, I don't want to see people getting fined over. Hopefully,
I
everyone's
don't
just
either,
kinda,
I mean, that's what we wanna
like,
avoid.
just
at
please
all
stop.
costs.
That's why we're giving them a warning.
Exactly. Hopefully,
Who's
everyone
gonna track
abides.
it?
I mean, after that, after a warning,
Then
they're
that's.
basically snubbing their noses at you. So,
I'm
you know,
aware.
After the warning
And
comes
you
the
have-
fine.
Yeah.
My,
And you
my
have to, yeah.
suggestion would be that the town clerk's office tracks it. She already tracks. There's other things that she tracks that are along the lines of this.
Yeah.
I don't wanna create more work for her
No.
or anything
Well,
like that, but you know.
There's only, it's not for the whole year, it's only.
Right, and I
Unless
think that if
somebody-
I think if we get ahead of it,
because
there
we
won't
have,
be as many, you know.
yeah. Or,
That's the hope.
God forbid, you get a real big storm. And no, absolutely.
All right, what do you need from us? This is a no-brainer.
We need a motion.
I make a motion to do what? To send out warning letters to the list of violators that Chief Kuchar has for obstruction of snowplows,
I'd like to use the town clerk as the vehicle to.
using the town clerk as a vehicle to get that done.
Okay,
Second with the friendly, well,
Yeah.
I guess for discussion.
okay,
Those would
motion's
be
been
friendly.
made and second. Did you?
So it just, yeah, but just to make sure we're in compliance with the bylaw, it still has to be from the chief. So if the chief just has a template letter,
Right.
Yeah.
that says,
Right.
dear, and leaves it blank, and Mel can do a
format.
mail merge on a Excel document, assuming she has the capacity and the time to be able to do it, and then she can track that.
Yeah.
So what did you want to add to that motion?
I didn't want to add anything per se, I
Oh.
just wanted to make sure for clarity purposes that the chief is still the theoretical
okay with that?
author of the
Yeah,
letter
that's
pursuant to the bylaws, chapter and section.
Yep.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, motion made and second. Any further discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Thank you, chief.
Thank you. Good night.
Excuse me. Anybody else here for open session? Okay. Consent agenda, we have Or do we have the minutes for January 12th?
So we have them, but I just realized I don't think I actually sent them out. I sent out exec minutes, but I don't think I sent out January 12th. So there's a file, if you go to the, not for tonight, because we'll just pass over, it's not, people won't have time to read them. There, if you go to the select board shared file on the OneDrive, where we were
SharePoint?
accessing things previously.
Yeah.
SharePoint you're
There's,
talking about?
yep, in SharePoint.
Okay.
I created some called select board minutes.
Okay.
And then if you go into, just the regular minutes, you'll see drafts, and then it'll say ready for approval.
Okay.
And those minutes are there, and
I'm
then
gonna add mine there.
I think anything we need to approve moving forward, that would be a good spot to stick them, but until we get back into a formal way of putting packets back together again,
Yeah.
I was just trying to collect it, but I did finish those, surprisingly.
Great.
So, from my end, those are done, but apparently,
where
we'll
are
have
they
another
located
meeting.
again?
I can show you afterwards, Peter.
All right, thank you.
I'll give you a link to it. So, my apologies, I did intend to send those out, and I think I had a moment.
And we were all there, so, okay.
Okay.
So can I correctly assume then we can approve these?
Well, I would pass over them, because no one's seen them yet. Someone should
Okay.
check my work.
All right, we're going to pass on the consent agenda because no one's had a chance to review the minutes. So we put these on a later, the next meeting. Okay, so table it until our next meeting. Okay, new business, finance update.
Yes, so I did meet last week with Sean and Marcia. Marcia is our consultant. She's been running with what she has and trying to get through some stuff. We should have a better update the end of this week as to where she is. She was hoping to, within this week and maybe even next week, hopefully get through 25 and get that finished.
Are we there yet?
She
25?
started on the Schedule A form last week, so she should have that done pretty,
Recording this, so everyone be mindful.
an extra copy.
And it'll be on YouTube later. and-
Sorry.
That's okay. Would you like some assistance?
I hear my own voice.
I'd go with the pause button. There you go. Sorry about that. Yeah, so anyways, we should have a better update by the end of this week. Tomorrow, Marcia, Sean, and Liz and I were going to try to get together, at least on a Teams meeting, just to touch base and see where we were with this week's finances. I talked to Liz on my way in. She does have a meeting set up tomorrow with UFASI, so those who hold our debt and help us with investment, and so, not hold it, but we'll say our debt advisors, so to speak. So we should have a better idea, hopefully in the next week or so, where we are, and be able to do more of a formal presentation as to our debt impact and so forth with regards to at least the fire truck, because that's a question we keep getting and we don't have a clear answer. So we want to be able to get that clear answer to people, how much it costs, how long it's going to be on the books for, and what the initial tax impact is going to be, at least for next year, based on this year's tax numbers.
So
we
there's no
can
action
provide
we
that.
need to take on this at all?
Nope, there's no action. I think it's just important because we've had a couple hiccups here that we keep putting this on the agenda so we can give an update. And
So do you want-
hopefully when there's a week that Sean's able to join us, and we get a little bit more detailed into some of these pieces, he'll be able to give some more information.
Do you want to then put this on the next meeting also?
I just carry it forward, Jeff.
Okay, so
Can you-
this will also be on the next agenda,
Yeah.
next
Can you
meeting.
extrapolate on the fire truck thing you just mentioned? What?
Yeah, so remember we talked a little while ago back in December, right before Christmas Eve, it came up, where we had discovered on the debt exclusion 1 form, the DE1 form that we had to
Yeah.
file through the accountant.
Yeah.
The assessor had noticed that we missed capturing the debt
Yeah.
from the fire truck we purchased around 2017.
But it's my understanding we've been paying.
We have been paying it, yep. Everything as far as the debt goes is fine. The problem is that our taxpayers voted twice, once at the ballot and once at town meeting, to increase their taxes for the duration of the purchase,
Correct.
to be able to cover the purchase there as opposed to covering it within our
Correct.
existing levy and where our numbers are. So moving forward, because this was discovered, we are required to actually put it forward going, as we move on, as a excluded debt where it's supposed to be.
Right.
The question became, and we've got it from quite a few residents, is what's the amount we purchased the truck for originally? How long did we finance it for? What's the year over year? And also, what's the expected impact next year on someone's tax bill?
Right.
Because it will hit the tax bills next year for the first year. We'll also have 3 debt exclusions hitting at the same time. And that's a question a lot of people have. Plus, how long does it last? How many years did we finance it for?
Right.
So these are very simple questions, and ordinarily they should be something at the top of our fingertips. But unfortunately, the way things are right now, they're not. And we just want to make sure we have the right answer.
Okay.
So we don't know the balance yet either on that.
We don't, but we should know by next meeting.
Yeah.
We should be able to answer all of those things. The problem becomes is
Probably
we have
about
so
50
many,
It's about 50% of what we paid for the truck, I think, because we've been paying on it for 80 years, right?
yeah, but I don't know how many years we took out.
Yeah. it all
The note
depends on how
for.
many years ago
Oh,
they-
all right,
What the
So you can
Yeah.
finance it any variation of.
10, 15, 20.
So remember, it has to be less than the total estimated timeline, life expectancy, according to the select board of that piece, and that predated me. Jeff may remember from 2017, or he may not. Jeff, do you remember?
Not that I could quote
It's-
you on. For
it's
some
not
reason, I'm
coming up
thinking
right
10
now.
years.
And it could be, but that's a question I know residents have is,
Yeah.
okay, how much is the impact actually gonna be and how long is it gonna be there for?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't something we had planned on when we did the last 3 debt exclusions this
Yeah,
year.
well, it should have already been there.
Will
but
the
it's-
Yep.
term, will the term be prorated to include the years we've already been
Nope,
paying
we
on
missed
it?
them.
Nope.
We missed them,
What do you
so.
mean we missed it?
There's no
So,
backtrack.
we paid for the debt within our tax levy, so instead
Right.
of using, I don't wanna guess the number, cause I could be wrong.
Right.
X dollars, right? It was X dollars, instead of taxing the residents for that X dollars to cover the cost.
Right.
We took it out of our current existing pockets.
understand.
When we did that, it meant that we didn't have that X dollars for personnel, we didn't have that X dollars for streets. But unfortunately, the years behind us that we missed taxing folks for, we can't go back and recover.
I understand. But we have been paying the truck, so the note on the trucks
Yes,
is 8 years shorter than when we originally voted to pay for the truck.
correct, or set whenever it
Right.
originally took place, yep.
So conceivably, the amount we voted at town meeting could be less.
The amount that's gonna be, and, well, theoretically speaking, the year-over-year impact, most of the times, you do it so it's the exact same amount over each year, it's
Right.
just cut out over time. So the impact's gonna be the exact same, it's just gonna be for a shorter period that's gonna
Okay.
hit someone's direct pocket.
So the term of the note will be abbreviated, but the amount, the
Stays-
financial impact will be the same.
Stays the
So
same, yeah.
the note will stay the same, just the impact,
But the
the number
year-
of years that the residents are paying for it
Right.
is going to be less.
Right, okay,
Okay,
very.
Yep.
thank you on that. All right, on this next item, the Town Administrator Search Committee, I've got the note from Mel in front of me, let me just read it, and then you can say what's right or wrong on it, but she's saying the only 2 residents who have applied to be on the search committee are Bella Caldera and Faye Zukoski. Then she says, I haven't heard from town employees, finance committee, or planning board yet for any volunteers. So it doesn't sound like we're going anywhere with this committee, so it sounds like we need to do something about it, or try to.
So I think we're actually missing some potential applications here that came in. I remember I tried looking back at my past notes and I couldn't quickly come upon it, but we had,
The only one I ever saw was Faye.
yes,
That came
but
to me, yeah.
we received a bunch of interest on this when I was originally monitoring the town administrator email.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a folder there in the town, do you still have access to that? Maybe? So there's a folder there in the folders I created under jobs for, okay, so town administrator search committee. So Sean should be able to access that file to make sure it's there, but there's more than 2 who were interested. My recollection rather, because there's so many, so many things that were coming in.
Residents.
Just people who put in for it, there were more than 2, I believe, that were there. I think it was predominantly residents. We still need a person from planning board, it sounds like, and it still sounds like we need 2 town employees. I know when I spoke with Mel right before the meeting, and also Liz said as our treasurer collector, she'd be happy to serve either in the finance capacity or as a town employee side. And Mel did hear back from Seth, who said if no one else wants to serve from the finance committee, he'd be happy to. I would very much be interested in seeing as one of those town employees, someone from either one of the chiefs or Travis, one of the large departments, I think would be instrumental on that committee.
One chief and one finance person, probably.
Well, if we have 2, theoretically, you have finance committee and 2 town employees. So if you had the chief, and then, you know, let's say Liz is one of the employees, and then you still need someone from FinCom, which could either be Seth or alternatively, I think Chuck is the vice chair, who I think we could still persuade to do it, and then you still need someone from planning board. But it doesn't sound like we're ripe yet to do this, so we're probably gonna need another week and make some phone calls.
Yeah,
Okay.
apparently, and dig out whatever was in that emails. because
Yes,
there's
yes.
more- If there's more residents, I don't want, you know what I
To
mean?
miss anybody, yep.
Yeah, because they'll be like, well, why didn't you pick me? Or, you know,
Yeah.
if you were looking for people, I just don't wanna, I don't wanna miss it.
But we're still using, what, the number 7 as the
I-
Yes.
total, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I
Okay.
have that 7 in my
Yeah,
notes here.
Thank you.
I tried,
Yeah,
they ignored me.
But you
Is
said
there
Sean,
any-
Heather, you said Sean should be able to.
Yeah, Sean will
the
have
file?
access to the file, and if he can't find it from there, he can just let me know, and I
He'll be
can
in
come in and show
tomorrow.
him where the file is.
Yes.
And you can fill him in too, because I also told him when I met him last week, and that if he wanted, he could call me tomorrow too, to get filled in on what we're doing.
He
right
knows
now.
he won't see me until 11 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay.
It's story time.
So we're moving that till next week, and we're gonna have to do a stronger push to find a planning board person, someone from FinCom, and,
Well, Seth said he'd do it, so.
huh?
Seth said he would do it.
He said he would do it. I think Chuck was interested. I
Okay,
talked to
Chuck
Chuck.
was
I think his
interested.
concern was just the balance of whether it'd be better for him to sit as from FinCom or the resident side. I think people are just concerned. They just want to make sure they're asking the right questions and so forth, so. But I still think Chuck, you know, I think Chuck would be a good person for the committee from the finance
We just need
end.
people to actually say, yes,
We
I
do.
want to
Right.
be
We
on
do.
there. Like,
We do.
Yeah.
So, but I think we just move that till next week and we try to.
Did we post a deadline to apply?
Yeah.
We were hoping to appoint everyone today, but the problem is if we don't have enough applications to do it.
But did we post a deadline to apply?
We did, the 15th.
So maybe we should extend that.
So if we leave it at the 15th, theoretically, we have enough residents. If
Yeah,
it's
we
just
just-
these 2, I think there's actually more, but let's say it's only these 2 who've applied, then we're okay with the number of residents. We don't actually need to extend that. We
How many
just,
residents did we say we wanted?
I think we said 2, right?
I believe so.
And we have
7,
two.
Right?
Yep.
Does that make sense?
So we have 7 members, 2 employees, 2, oh, no, we have 3
Ah.
residents listed.
Okay.
Yep.
7 members, 2 employees, 1 finance-related individual, FinCom, collector, accountant, 1 planning board member, and 3 residents. But Heather is correct, I do believe I remember seeing, when I was also in the town administrator email, a couple of residents did reach out, so I
Okay.
think they're there, it's just we've decided to cut our access.
2 additional unique residents as opposed to the 2 in this email?
I think there's more people than the 2 who were in the email.
Okay.
I could be wrong, it does happen.
No.
50/50.
Seems then we need to,
I think we just
between
extend this
now
to
and
next week.
or whenever our next meeting is, 2 weeks or 1, we need to at least get the numbers that we actually have, as far as whether that's Sean checking the file or you, so that we can have a number that we're actually working with, because as Chris was saying, we may have to extend the volunteer time.
I think we have enough, based on what's in the.
That would be ideal.
Mhm.
That would be ideal, then we don't need to extend the application time.
Anything else on this? We're all in agreement then?
Yes.
Thank you, Patrick.
No problem.
Old business, personnel updates or appointments.
I got one.
Assistant treasurer?
Yes. So, assistant treasurer collector, we did a second interview, I did 2 interviews today, one for the assistant treasurer collector with Mel, and with Liz. We would like to move forward. I have their resume and things here. I also have, what we offer, online and stuff for pay and hours and things. But Liz asked a lot of questions because Liz wasn't part of it the first round. Peter was with Leanne, correct? Yes. And then we followed back with Leanne as well later on because Peter wasn't there, so to just kind of touch base back with Leanne about this person. But Liz feels this would be a good fit. Mel feels that this would be a good fit. I feel like this is definitely, this person could learn and would be a good front-facing person with the public, dealing with things. They have a lot of, not municipal experience, but they do have customer service experience, which is half the battle, because the assistant treasurer collector is the one they come and talk to first, you know?
Sarah's job.
Yes, Sarah's job.
And I've supported her since the first interview.
Okay.
I thought she was the right one from the first interview, so.
Well, she's come before us for other things, and I also know her because I go to Speedy all the time. So-
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, if you guys want to look at her resume, other than that, she said she would be good to be able to start in a week or two, because she does have to put in a notice
Yeah.
of some sort, obviously, because she doesn't want to be like that, you know, at her current job. But she was fine with the hours and the pay of, we offered between 22 and 23 per hour. We told her about our long days on Tuesdays.
And how many hours?
It was
For the week?
32, I believe,
Okay.
if I'm remembering correctly. Does it say it here? No. It says full-time. But I believe it was 32. 32. I want to say it was 32.
She's okay with that?
Yeah, yeah. Which is full-time.
Okay. Chris and Heather, since the three of us know her, basically, do you have anything?
I get my oil changed too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
just-
oh, okay, so you know her too, okay. Chris,
My driveway,
Senior.
a nice warm smiling face.
do you have any questions, or?
So it looks like she also has experience doing payroll.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
obviously, it's not the same, but it does suggest, attention to detail. It's a transferable skill. Municipal is very different than any other kind of finance, so anytime, even if you pulled in a CPA, you're essentially saying, welcome to day one. So it's very different, but I think the customer service is one of those things that, is a key skill we need in that position. And someone who Liz feels is a good person to be in the supporting role, and someone who I think would be a good addition to the team.
Yeah.
So if a lot of folks who've weighed in and they're all on the same page, I'm on board. The question is just what the decision was behind the scenes on how much to offer.
We asked between 22 and 23, because that's what we offered, and she said she would be okay in that range.
So what is it, 22 or 23?
Well, we could do the 22 because she doesn't have the municipal experience, or we could just go for the 23 and.
So if you're paying,
You know,
so the the thing is, right, with all of these positions, when someone gets experience, then they're able to move on if
Yeah.
they want to. And one of the problems we've always had here is paying people the right wage.
Yeah.
So if we go with the higher one, it puts us in a better starting position. I know there's pros and cons to doing that, but it says, okay, this is a valuable position. We want to start at this number because we want to make sure that we keep it competitive as we go on.
Yeah.
And we don't get behind the 8 ball in a year and all of a sudden they have a year of experience and now we're not catching up.
Yeah.
Oh, we lose them.
Or we lose them.
Yep.
But I,
23 it is.
Agreed, yeah.
okay. Do you have any questions, KP?
I have no questions.
Okay, can I see that resume for a second?
All right.
Mr. Chairman, would you be willing to accept a motion?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we offer the position of Assistant Treasurer Collector to Christine Bumpus Clark with the hourly wage of $23 per hour for 32 hours a week, with a start date no sooner than February 2nd, 2026.
Okay, motion made
Second.
and second. Any further discussion, questions on this?
I just have, I guess, one thing. Katie, did we check references yet?
I believe they did in the melt, we had a list of them.
Okay. Can I just add a friendly amendment to my own motion? Contingent upon successful query and reference check,
Okay, because she's gotta get bonded, so.
comma, ability to be bonded.
Pause there.
Okay.
We usually, that is not, we went through this previously, Mary and
Yeah,
I,
we're gonna
with
restate
other
that.
candidate
Yeah.
treasurer collector. We can get them bonded.
Okay.
That's, a successful bond has nothing to do with any of this, so that is a completely separate.
How long a process would it be?
Chicory, bond, and reference,
Yeah, estimated, yeah.
a day.
Oh, yeah.
It shouldn't hold up a start date.
It's not gonna start
Let me
for
do a
2
friendly
weeks.
amendment to my own day, one Patricia day.
Okay.
That could be
Feel
three.
better.
The point being, she'll come on board and it's all taken care of.
Yeah, it does.
As soon as I send her the offer letter and she sends me back the signed offer letter, that's when I send her the query. The query is done, then she gets the onboarding paperwork. It's a whole step-by-step process.
Sounds good.
When she returns her query paperwork and we onboard her, then I apply for her bond.
If you now could restate it.
I would love to do it again.
Thank you.
And this way Patricia can make sure, all of her stuff is ready.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, I should be about the same. So my motion was to offer the position of Assistant Treasurer Collector to Christine Bumpus Clark at the rate of $23 per hour for 32 hours a week, with the start date as soon as February 2nd, 2026, contingent upon successful query, checking of the references, and eligibility to be bonded.
Okay.
Second. Whoever seconded it. I don't know.
I did.
Okay,
You
there you
did.
go. I was like, I didn't do that the first time.
You get all that, Trish?
Well done.
Okay.
Peter seconded it.
All right, you may continue.
All set. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Abstain.
Oh, one abstention.
So that was.
Motion passed. Thank you. Okay, the personnel update on the building commissioner.
I talked to Sean today, called me about this.
Sean, okay.
Yes,
Mhm.
Sean called me about building commissioner and had some follow-up questions about what we talked about at our meeting, last week.
Of the two choices.
Well, of,
Where we go.
yeah,
as
yeah, well,
opposed to that.
how he wanted, the thoughts were why we were asking him what to do with Bob, the one that has the
Yeah,
entity.
company.
Yeah, and I brought up the parts of some of the problems that we unanimously, yeah, no kidding, seriously.
Questions with the other towns.
Wanted to move forward with Bob as long as these questions could be answered, and I told him that it was the question of if he comes out for the first 3 months, then somebody else comes out, are they gonna be insured? How do we, is it gonna be a different person every time? How do we do payroll? Like, what is the other towns, how do they do it? And also, if it's an entity, does it have to be put out as a procurement kind of thing? Like, does it have to get bid on? Is it problematic that way?
And
So I
the
did,
big one was the LLC too.
well, that was for the procurement
Yeah,
problem.
right. Mhm.
So I explained why we had these thoughts and like went over basically the top points. If there's people coming in with insurance, you know, like is everybody covered under his insurance? Like how does this work? We don't want a different person coming in inspecting every single week. We want, you know, a set, you know, like 1 or 2 guys max. We don't want a roundhouse
He's only got 2 inspectors.
right now, but he's trying to grow. So we don't want a roundhouse, because technically they'd have to be sworn in by Mal if, so there was a lot of questions and we went over a whole bunch of them. So he's gonna follow up with,
Contacting towns?
yes,
Okay.
what was the main one? Salisbury.
Salisbury and
Yes.
Pepperell.
Yeah, he was gonna go out, talk
Groton-
with
Groton
Salisbury.
was another one.
Yeah, but he wants to, he said that
Maybe
maybe,
Sean. right?
yes,
Yeah.
is gonna follow up with that and touch base with Salisbury, because he knows the guy, the town manager in Salisbury.
Okay.
So he's gonna figure out how they work it and go from there and look at some of the other towns to see how this is working. And, because I told him, I said, look, if it's something that has to be gone out to bid, the odds are nobody else is gonna go out to bid, but it needs to be done the right way, because none of us wanna hear that it wasn't done correctly.
Right.
Like, none of us, we're not gonna, no, it's not happening. So it needs to be done correctly. And it needs to be thoroughly looked at to make sure it's done correctly, and make sure that we don't have random people coming in that we don't even know who's inspecting. We
Right.
want the same faces, we want the insurance covered, we want all these problems answered. But we want to move forward with that, so figure it out. So I threw it back in his lap to figure it out, so
They're
he's on.
gonna need an ID card anyway, so.
But regardless, there's other questions before we
Yeah,
get
no,
to
no, I understand.
So
Yeah.
shall we move this also then to the next meeting, or do you think it'll need more time than that?
Sean is on it, so.
I think we just move it, I think we move to the next meeting. If it's not
Okay,
ready,
so
we
Until
continue
get
it.
a, yeah, conclusion, answer.
Okay, building commissioner will go to the next meeting also. Okay? Did you have that, Trish?
Yes.
Thank you.
So he hasn't been hired, nobody reached out to them yet?
No, he's been in contact with Bob, the guy, the building commissioner. Sean has been, when I say he,
So-
they have been in contact.
So we just,
I guess Bob actually, I think, wanted to come here tonight to talk to us to kind of sell his, and we're like, no, we don't come out here to do that. That's not the problem. The problem, it lies within,
due diligence.
yes, Sean needs to figure out how to do this correctly, so that way we don't step in some kind of legal loophole of we did it wrong
Yeah.
as a town. We want to move forward correctly.
All right, absolutely. Anything else? Thank you. Okay. Executive assistant, where are we on that?
I had second round for one, and I have a second round for another on Thursday morning. This
This week,
needs,
this-
yes, this
okay.
week.
Mhm.
So we need to put this on a meeting for hopefully Monday, and I hate to say that, because I just like every
Another week?
Monday.
Yeah, this is getting,
But we're gonna have to until we fill all these positions,
need
because
to
we
get them
can't let this linger.
Well, it'd be nice to wrap all of them
That
up
up.
by next Monday.
Yeah, and realistically, we should be able to wrap that up by next Monday, because the second meeting will be, interview will be on Thursday.
Yep.
So therefore, on Monday, we can come back with a person to move forward with, hopefully.
Excellent.
Can I just throw one small and tiny wrench?
No, I don't wanna hear wrenches. Not right now. Don't give me any more wrenches, woman. There's already way more
Yeah,
wrenches.
let's hear it.
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. If you wait to the next meeting on Monday, it's the 26th.
Yep,
You could potentially hiring a person, whether they have to give a 2-week notice or something.
I know, it's gonna be after.
And it's gonna be after the 31st.
That's why the sooner the better, and I already know it's gonna be after the 31st. Yes. I already knew that monkey wrench was already,
Just wanted to.
yep,
Okay.
there's
That's
nothing
your
we
official
can
date?
do about that.
Who are you
Like,
guys extending to? Which is a funny story. It's a Saturday.
Yeah, I know, it was the end of the month.
but in the same sense, no disrespect intended, but in the same sense, if, and I don't know, because I had nothing to do with the, my point being, we shouldn't be under the gun of the 31st if either of these two or both are not right for it.
Correct.
Well, regardless, they'd have to put in a notice wherever they are, you would think, right? They can't just,
No, I'm not
Like, start
saying
the next day.
that would disqualify them. I'm only saying if the people who are doing the interviews decide that actually
Oh, that these don't
neither of
fit,
them are
yeah.
right,
Then we move.
we shouldn't
on
feel that
forward.
we have to hire one of them because of the
Mm-hmm.
31st. That's all I was trying to say.
Okay, yeah. No, it's one of those, if the shoe doesn't fit, no, we keep
Yeah.
moving.
Okay,
Well,
so,
then maybe we should ask Patricia if she'd be interested in extending her extension.
Again,
Trisha
Is, I think,
is going on vacation, that first week of February. What?
excellent.
Yes. That is something that we would have to talk about, not in a public meeting. Can we talk about that offline?
Very good.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
fair enough. All right, excuse me.
So this will be tabled to next Monday as well?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tabling.
we're just,
I already wrote the agenda for next Monday, Tricia, it's in a folder.
We should adjourn now since it's the same agenda.
You have access to it, you should be able to, I'll send you a link.
All right, moving on to actually matters not anticipated, we have a couple that I know of.
Yeah.
First, now, why don't we start with you, Katie, then we'll do you,
okay.
Tricia.
So while I was on the phone with Sean, this morning, we had talked about, how it's that time of the year to do our annual, town,
Report?
yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's been a long day. So yeah, so it's time for the annual town report, and that needs to get going, and he was touching base with Mel to start on that process, to at least reach out to boards and committees to start hounding for information. But that leaves us to dedicate, we usually do, our annual town report to somebody. So, my question is, thoughts?
I have, when I saw your note to all of us that you wanted to bring this up, I was thinking about it, and I'd like to throw something out if I might get your reaction. To my knowledge, there's nothing written down as to who can or cannot be recommended. And I was thinking in terms, could we have a group recommended? And I'm specifically thinking of the staff and the board who have gotten us through this period of time as being the ones that we dedicate that to.
Like a whole?
That's why I'm throwing it out. Because essentially, I don't know of anything written down that says you can't.
You can dedicate it to anything you want.
I'm talking about everybody who has worked as hard as they can to keep the town afloat while we were trying to get an interim and so forth. So that's something I'm just throwing out as a suggestion.
I'll agree, I'll back that up.
I'm not opposed to that. I think, because there's no, in that aspect, there's no one single employee or anyone that has, stood, it's like we've all been, it's been a combined effort.
And if it were something like that that we go along with, there's nothing that says you can't list the names.
No, you can list everybody's
Because we
name.
certainly know who's all been. So again, any thoughts on that, Heather or Chris? How does that hit you?
Can I sit on it for a week?
Yeah, I'm just throwing
Oh,
it
yeah,
out.
it doesn't have to be made today. Well, no, the decision does not have to be
Yeah.
made today.
No, I was
It's
just throwing
a
that out
decision.
because when Katie contacted us and I started thinking about it, I said, what about a group?
So I guess my only initial thoughts, right? So it's our town report, we can do whatever we want to do.
Yep.
So if we want to include, a letter at the beginning and recognize every staff member who has been part of the team this year and board members and so forth, I think that's a fantastic thing, and I think this will be a historic year in many ways, so that'll be something people can reflect. I like the tradition of one person getting the award, because then it's memorable for that individual, and it's like, okay, here's, I really did above and beyond and I stood out. I totally understand what you're saying, Jeff, and, I don't know if we can ever say how appreciative we are of everyone in town this year and how much everyone has held the ship together and been able to, make great progress and still pull us through. And I don't know if the words are there, but That's just my initial thought.
No,
It's a
to-
brand new idea, so
Well-
I would love to sit on it for a week.
To be totally honest in terms of what when I was thinking about this, and this is only since this afternoon in a sense, I put it forth because the other thing I would put an exception to, if there is an individual that comes up as, what am I trying to say? The word worthy is terrible, but, you know, in the past, we've honored some people in the sense who have either just retired or whatever, etc. But if we need to wait to see what names may come forth and there's a stronger feeling for one individual, that's fine too. It just came to my mind when I first saw it, and I thought it might be that we've gone through an unusual situation, all of us. That is not anything I've experienced, none of us have experienced actually. So that's the only reason I just thought about it, but absolutely, let's think about it.
I have a name in mind if we want to do a solo also.
Is it left up to us to come up with this, or are we putting this out? Has it come up
I
as
think-
recommendations?
Well, we did surprise, right? We didn't,
We
didn't talk
so
about
the
it.
last couple of years, you guys all sent me your ideas of who you thought the dedication was. That's how I picked last year. It was the same name, so it was kind of easy.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah.
all sent me Mr.
Okay.
Hale.
Yeah,
Mr. Hale. So I did the annual report last year, and I usually do it this year because everything was just so thrown overboard. But I'm gonna work with Mel on it because I have everybody who we need reports from already written down for her. So that's how you guys did it last year, and then it was a surprise once I unveiled the annual town report. So if you guys wanted to do that again this year and talk about it away, you could. Or you can do it, it doesn't have to be a surprise, it was just.
No, because we've done it publicly
You've done it
before,
publicly
in the
before,
past.
and
We've
then in
done
the
it-
past, so,
Yeah.
it's whatever you guys want, whatever you guys feel most comfortable to do.
Yeah.
Well, the decision obviously doesn't have to be made tonight,
No.
so something to think about,
Yeah.
and you can keep in mind too. Chris, you have any thoughts on this?
I guess it depends, how are we gonna do this? Because if Peter's got someone in mind, I'd like to hear who he's got in mind, but if we don't wanna do it in a public setting,
Yeah.
then we can do it offline.
Heather, you got any final thoughts on that?
I think if we want to initially try to keep it so that it's a surprise and just to kind of see where we're at with polling each of us, I think everyone can just send Tricia initially who they're thinking of, and she can let us know if there's any themes.
Okay.
Because there could be 5 different names that come through.
Yeah.
Write it down before you forget.
I already emailed you.
Yeah. He said he was gonna forget, so
Okay, yes.
he can't email me stuff.
But, so I think we could do that and then see where we're at, see if it's something.
Agreed.
But I think it's a nice thing to have, the dedication to and be surprised at town meeting and,
We can do a formal, the first page can be a formal letter to the recognizing everybody else.
Yeah, how we tried to get last year.
Well, let's see what comes to you, and then you can get it back to us. Okay. Anything else need on that?
Oh, I have an open,
Oh, yeah, no, you do a lot, Tricia has one herself,
okay.
and then I'll come to you, okay, Peter?
Yeah, no
It's not
problem.
even matter, it's done. Just-
Are you all set?
I am good.
Okay. Go ahead, Trish.
So, as we know, my last day, so my last day of the extension is the 31st. I've been trying very diligently to clean up and tie up all of the open projects with a bow. The only thing I really need help with, and I can't ask for help with like a task work off person or anything like that, is I need help with the HR files. Some things need to be moved from a drawer to another drawer, some things just need to be filed. The HR stuff is backed up a little bit because at the end of the day, that is file that needs to go in a drawer or needs a tab put on it. I just need help going through it. It is confidential information, so I didn't know if one of you guys were willing to help me with it. Because I can't ask a tax work-off person because the confidentiality
Yeah.
of the town employees, these are not matters of public record, some of them, so it's medical reports, filing physicals, that kind of
What would be
thing.
the legality of that?
So usually you just have someone sign a confidentiality statement, but I would,
The other-
since that's Sean's office, I would ask Sean what he's comfortable with. If he wants one of us, we can happily do
The other
that.
aspect is we can't use the meeting room upstairs at nighttime because the files are upstairs. And it's not behind a locked door. So the thought was actually physically moving the files down to the tax collector's office where they actually should reside in. We just.
Isn't there a spare room behind your office right now?
There is, and we can change the lock on that door to be locked. That would just be moving the filing cabinet down the hall into that office. It was just ease of access to the tax collector because she does all the benefits, wage authorization increases and all that other stuff.
So that just might be a conversation with Sean, because that can also easily just be separated out and probably should be separated out, where she has a certain amount of those files as the originals in her office, and then only as needed in the personnel file, there's a copy.
The only other issue with the signing of the confidentiality is, for the senior tax work-off, we're on the second floor, and many of them don't want to do the stairs.
That's why
So-
the room upstairs is also problematic.
I can give you some time.
And I
I
could,
can as well.
we probably, a bunch of us
Yeah.
probably could, I would just clear it with Sean to make sure
Yeah,
he's
I'll
okay
clear
with us
He
touching.
already kind of knows tentatively
Okay.
that I was gonna ask about this, because he asked me kind of what was open-ended on my end, and this is the one glaring me in the face, like, just sit down and fix me, so.
Yeah, because if it's a matter of, there's nothing wrong that any one of us couldn't do, because we
Right.
certainly have the confidence.
Yeah, so that was just the only thing I was gonna ask for help
Okay.
with.
Yep, so you got 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, see what Sean
I
says,
can be here
okay?
Thursday at 11.
Okay, that actually worked out perfect, so I've
So-
got first and fourth.
Let's see what Sean says, okay? And then you can reach out to us, because we're volunteering. All right,
Anyways.
Yeah. Gotta move in.
Peter, you said you have one?
Yeah, so tomorrow I have a meeting with Central Mass Emergency Communications Center. And a couple of meetings ago, they put out, they're looking for somebody from town to represent us on the finance board for them. I didn't have the heart to ask anybody because everybody's so stretched thin now, but I'm just putting it out there. I don't know if it's a stipend position or a paid position, but I'll get that information tomorrow. Just saying, they're looking for another body for finance board.
So it literally, could it be anybody, meaning
I
a
don't
town
see-
person?
I know there was some
Or-
things there before with the previous administrator that he had planned. We have an executive session there tomorrow also, I could pop the question then, because I know I have somebody in mind. If it's a stipend type thing, she might be interested. She was a previous employee of ours, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay, all right,
I just wanted to bring it up to you.
thank you, fine. All right. Next, anything from the public or press, any questions? No? Okay, so, once again, it's a weekly meeting, right?
Yep.
So, what is a week from today?
Is
Well, it's not-
the
Oh, not today,
26.
it's on Monday.
26th,
Yeah.
sir.
Next meeting then, January 20.
No, yep, sorry, I skipped a month in my head.
26, right?
26th.
Yes,
Okay,
here, 6:30. Yep.
can everybody make that? Okay. Bridget, can you make that?
Yeah.
No, okay,
She's like, no.
all right.
Just got better.
That being the case, we will be moving into executive session, so I will read the reason we're going in, and then we'll take a motion to adjourn from the open session to go into executive session. At the end of executive session, we will come out with no intent of coming back to open session. Okay, so we are moving into executive session, a motion pursuant to General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A7, to comply with or act under the authority of any general or special law or federal grant in aid requirements. The Select Board will convene in executive session for the purpose of reviewing minutes from the following executive sessions, all of which were convened pursuant to General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, 1, to hear complaint against a public official. The board will determine whether the purpose for such executive sessions have resolved and whether any of the minutes may be released with or without redactions under the public records law. And the dates are August 4th, 2025, October 30th, 2025, and November 10th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so could we have a motion to adjourn from open session first?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion to adjourn to executive session, and now could we have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
And this is a roll call vote. Peter?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Jeff? Yes, we're now in executive session.